discussing weekend plans. Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Listening Time. Today, we're going to talk about discussing weekend plans. This is a common topic that comes up in everyday conversations with friends, family, and coworkers. Let's dive in and learn some useful vocabulary and phrases for talking about weekend activities. When Friday comes around, many people start thinking about their plans for the weekend. It's common to ask your friends or coworkers, "What are you doing this weekend?" This simple question can start a great conversation about upcoming activities and plans. You might also hear variations like, "Got any plans for the weekend?" Or, "What's on your agenda for Saturday and Sunday?" There are many different ways to spend a weekend. Some people like to relax at home, while others prefer to go out and have fun. Let's talk about some common weekend activities and how to discuss them in English. One popular weekend activity is watching movies or TV shows. You might say, "I'm planning to stay in and watch some movies this weekend." Or maybe you prefer to go out to the cinema. In that case, you could say, "I'm thinking about seeing the new action movie at the theater on Saturday night." If you're in a binge-watching TV series, you might tell your friends, "I'm going to catch up on my favorite show this weekend. I have 3 episodes left to watch." Reading is another enjoyable way to spend free time. If you're a book lover, you might tell your friends, "I'm going to curl up with a good book this weekend." Or perhaps you're in the middle of an exciting novel and can't wait to finish it. You could say, "I'm looking forward to reading the last few chapters of my book." Some people prefer nonfiction, so you might hear someone say, "I'm planning to read a biography of a famous scientist this weekend." For those who enjoy being active, there are many outdoor activities to choose from. If you like hiking, you might say, "I'm planning to go for a hike in the nearby mountains on Sunday morning." Or if you prefer team sports, you could tell your friends, "I'm joining a group of friends for a game of soccer in the park on Saturday afternoon." Cycling is another popular activity, and you might hear someone say, "I'm going on a long bike ride along the river on Sunday." Gardening is a relaxing hobby for many people. If you enjoy working in your garden, you might say, "I'm going to spend some time in my garden this weekend, planting some new flowers." Or if you're just starting out with gardening, you could say, "I'm thinking about starting a small vegetable garden in my backyard." For those with indoor plants, you might hear, "I need to repot some of my house plants this weekend." Shopping is another common weekend activity. You might need to buy groceries or household items. In this case, you could say, "I need to do some grocery shopping on Saturday morning." Or maybe you want to treat yourself to something nice. You could tell your friends, "I'm planning to go to the mall and look for a new outfit this weekend." Some people enjoy browsing flea markets or antique shops, so you might hear, "I'm going to check out the flea market on Sunday to see if I can find any interesting vintage items." Cooking and trying new recipes can be a fun way to spend time at home. If you enjoy cooking, you might say, "I'm going to try making a new pasta dish this Saturday evening." Or if you're planning a special meal, you could say, "I'm inviting some friends over for a barbecue on Sunday afternoon." Baking is also popular, and you might hear someone say, "I'm planning to bake a batch of cookies on Saturday morning." For those who like to stay fit, exercising is an important part of the weekend routine. You might tell your coworkers, "I'm going to hit the gym on Saturday morning for a workout." Or if you prefer outdoor exercise, you could say, "I'm planning to go for a long run in the park on Sunday." Yoga enthusiasts might say, "I'm attending a yoga class on Saturday afternoon to relax and stretch." Music lovers might spend their weekends listening to their favorite songs or attending concerts. You could say, "I'm going to a rock concert on Saturday night with some friends." Or if you play an instrument, you might tell others, "I'm planning to practice my guitar for a few hours this weekend." Some people enjoy discovering new music, so you might hear, "I'm going to spend some time exploring new albums on Spotify this weekend." Spending time with family and friends is important for many people. You might say, "I'm having dinner with my parents on Saturday evening." Or if you're planning a get-together with friends, you could say, "I'm hosting a small party at my place on Friday night." Family activities are common too, like we're taking the kids to the zoo on Sunday afternoon. If you enjoy arts and crafts, weekends can be a great time to work on your projects. You might tell your friends, "I'm going to spend some time painting this weekend." Or if you're into knitting or crochet, you could say, "I'm planning to finish the scarf I've been working on." Some people enjoy DIY projects, so you might hear, "I'm going to build a new bookshelf for my living room this weekend." For those who like to explore new places, weekends are perfect for short trips. You might say, I'm taking a day trip to a nearby town on Saturday. Or if you're planning a longer trip, you could tell others, I'm going on a weekend getaway to the beach with my family. Some people enjoy spontaneous adventures, so you might hear, we're just going to get in the car and drive, see where we end up. Learning new skills is another productive way to spend your free time. You might say, I'm taking a cooking class on Saturday afternoon. Or if you're interested in languages, you could tell your friends, I'm planning to spend some time studying Spanish this weekend. Online courses are popular too, so you might hear someone say, I'm going to work on my photography course this weekend. Volunteering is a great way to give back to your community. If you're involved in volunteer work, you might say, I'm volunteering at the local animal shelter on Sunday morning. Or if you're looking for new opportunities, you could tell others, I'm thinking about joining a beach cleanup event this weekend. Some people volunteer their skills, like, I'm helping a friend set up their new computer on Saturday. Sometimes, the best weekend plans involve simply relaxing and doing nothing. It's perfectly okay to say, I don't have any special plans this weekend. I'm just going to take it easy and relax at home. This can be a great way to recharge after a busy week. You might hear people say things like, I'm looking forward to sleeping in on Saturday morning. Or I'm planning a lazy day on the couch with some snacks and good TV shows. If you're not sure about your plans yet, you can say something like, I haven't decided what to do this weekend yet. Do you have any suggestions? This is a good way to get ideas from others and maybe even make plans together. You might also hear people say, I'm keeping my options open for now, or I'm waiting to see what the weather will be like before making any plans. When discussing weekend plans, it's common to use phrases that express uncertainty or flexibility. For example, you might say, I might go to the movies on Saturday, but I'm not sure yet. Or you could say, I'm thinking about going for a bike ride depending on the weather. This shows that you're open to changes and adaptable. It's also important to be open to changes in plans. You might say, I was planning to go hiking, but if it rains, I'll probably stay in and read instead. This shows that you're flexible and can adapt to different situations. You might hear people use phrases like, let's play it by ear, which means to decide as we go along, or I'll keep you posted, which means they'll update you when they know more. When talking about weekend plans with others, it's polite to show interest in their plans too. After sharing your own plans, you can ask, how about you? What are you up to this weekend? This helps keep the conversation balanced and shows that you care about the other person's interests. You might also ask follow-up questions like, that sounds interesting. How long have you been into that hobby? If someone invites you to join their weekend plans, you have a few options for responding. If you're interested, you might say, that sounds great. I'd love to join you. If you're not sure, you could say, thanks for the invitation. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. And if you can't make it, you can politely decline by saying, I appreciate the offer, but I already have plans. Maybe next time. It's always good to be honest, but polite when responding to invitations. It's also common to make tentative plans for the weekend. You might say to a friend, let's try to get together this weekend if we're both free. This leaves the option open without making a firm commitment. You might hear phrases like, let's pencil it in, which means to make a plan that isn't definite yet. Or, I'll touch base with you later, which means they'll contact you to confirm plans. When discussing plans for a specific day, you can use time expressions to be more precise. For example, on Saturday morning, I'm going to clean my apartment. Then in the afternoon, I might go for a bike ride. This gives a clear picture of how you're planning to structure your day. You might also hear people use expressions like bright and early for early morning plans, or I'll be tied up until around 3 p.m., which means they'll be busy until that time. If you have a busy weekend ahead, you might tell others, I have a packed weekend coming up. I'm doing this on Saturday and that on Sunday. This lets people know that you have a lot planned and might not be available for other activities. You might hear people say things like, I've got a full plate this weekend, or my weekend is booked solid, which both mean they have many plans. On the other hand, if you don't have much planned, you could say, my weekend is pretty open. I'm just going to see how I feel and maybe do some spontaneous activities. This shows that you're keeping your options open and are flexible with your time. You might hear expressions like, I'm playing it loose, or I'm keeping it low-key this weekend, which both mean they don't have strict plans. When Monday comes around, it's common for people to ask each other about their weekends. You might hear questions like, How was your weekend? Or did you do anything fun over the weekend? This is a great opportunity to practice talking about past events and sharing your experiences. You can respond with details about what you did, or keep it simple with something like, "It was nice, thanks." How about yours? Remember, there's no right or wrong way to spend your weekend. The most important thing is to do what makes you happy and helps you feel refreshed for the coming week. Whether you prefer active outings or quiet time at home, the key is to find a balance that works for you. Some people need busy weekends to feel energized, while others prefer to use the time to relax and recharge. It's also worth noting that weekend plans can vary greatly depending on factors like your job, family situation, and personal preferences. Some people work on weekends and have their free time during the week. Others might have regular commitments every weekend, like sports practices or religious services. When discussing weekend plans, it's good to be mindful that everyone's situation is different. Cultural differences can also play a role in how people spend their weekends. In some cultures, it's common to have big family gatherings every weekend, while in others, people might prefer to spend time with friends or engage in individual hobbies. If you're talking to people from different backgrounds, it can be interesting to learn about their typical weekend activities. As we wrap up this discussion on weekend plans, let's review some key points. We've learned various ways to talk about different activities, from outdoor adventures to relaxing at home. We've also covered how to express uncertainty, make tentative plans, and respond to invitations. We've discussed the importance of being flexible and considerate when making plans with others. Practice using these phrases and vocabulary in your own conversations about weekend plans. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. Don't be afraid to ask others about their plans and share your own ideas. This is a great way to improve your English skills and maybe even make some new friends. Remember, talking about weekend plans is just one of many everyday topics you can use to practice your English. It's a great way to start conversations, learn about others' interests, and share your own experiences. As you become more comfortable discussing your plans, you'll find it easier to express yourself in English in various situations. Keep in mind that improving your language skills takes time and practice. Don't worry if you make mistakes or can't remember all the phrases right away. The most important thing is to keep trying and to enjoy the process of learning. Every conversation is an opportunity to practice and improve. Thank you for joining us today on English Listening Time. We hope you found this lesson helpful and enjoyable. Keep practicing your listening skills, and don't forget to use these phrases in your own conversations. Until next time, happy learning and have a great weekend. Remember, whether your weekend plans involve exciting adventures or quiet relaxation, the most important thing is to enjoy your time and recharge for the week ahead. So go out there, make some plans, and don't forget to practice your English while you're at it.